Hello, welcome to another Treedful FL YouTube video. Today's gonna be a bit different. I actually filmed a vlog earlier this week, but I didn't like how it turned out because I had like a weird day. So we're not worrying about that. I did want to make a video talking about my journey to becoming a content creator, like how this all happened. So it's a great opportunity to sit down and talk about that. This is one of a few videos I want to make about the experience of being a content creator, both because it's interesting and because I want people who are doing it to have some sort of idea of what to do in certain situations. There are a lot of things to keep in mind that I've learned that have been super valuable lessons throughout my time doing this, so I'd love to share those as I go forward. For today, the story about how I became a content creator in the first place can be summed up in one sentence, which is it happened by accident, or mostly by accident. Let me explain. The first video I ever made on TikTok was in 2019. I made it right after I downloaded the app. I'll just play it for you now.
Hi, I'm Taylor. This is Mark. We're gonna get TikTok famous. How do you, is it going? Wait.
And the video was entirely a joke because I could not figure out how to use the platform. I couldn't figure out how to do anything on it in terms of making a video. I actually had a background in video production from some stuff I did in school. I worked on like the morning announcements for my school. I worked on some like classes that were about video production. And I love doing it. It's something that's super fun for me. So I was like, oh, this is so hard to use for me. I don't know what I'm doing. I felt technologically inept, and I thought it'd be funny to make that video. But because I like making videos, I kept making them with my friend Mark, who was in that video. We made like 2 or 3, but they were just about random things like modifying our guitars, going to the beach, surfing, skimboarding, just doing the stuff we like to do. They weren't for an audience, they were just for us to have fun with. Throughout the next couple years, I kept making TikToks just like for within my social network, not really talking about anything serious. Like if I was growing a mustache, occasionally I'd make like outfit stuff because I still loved clothes. But it was just like in my mind, I didn't think anyone else would see it. It was just for the homies and myself. I did sort of come close to being a bit of an influencer once before I actually like posted my first couple TikToks that did well and took off. Before COVID, I'd been bodybuilding and powerlifting and I built up a little bit of mass. I grew up being really skinny because I was a runner. So I went from about 150 pounds when I started to about 180 at the point where COVID happened. And then COVID happened, and over the course of being in isolation, being quarantined from other people, I lost all that weight again. And for me at the time, the athletics I wanted to do all required me to be big. I was thinking of being a bodybuilder. I was thinking of doing like natural bodybuilding competitions. So I started working on getting the weight back. And it went pretty well. I'll put some progress pictures on the screen so you can see. And this was around the time that fitness content became really big. So I had some people that I knew come up to me, some people in the gym come up to me and ask for advice about their lifts because I was looking pretty good. I was performing very well. And I love that feeling of helping people out. So I was like, oh, what if I make content about fitness and inspire people to do what I'm doing? I wanted that sense of a like-minded community where everyone was sort of working towards similar goals, and I loved that camaraderie that I had in the gym, so I was like, why don't I make that on like an internet platform? So I made it on Instagram. I had a page called Treed Fit. I think that was what it was called. It might have been Treed Lifts, but either way. Treed Fit existed. Mostly my friends who were into fitness followed it. It was super cool to have that community for a little while, but I just didn't keep up with it. I was doing too many other things with fitness, like rock climbing and running, and I wasn't just focusing on weightlifting enough to really share advice about it and to move forward with making content for it. I then went through a period, a very interesting period, where I just sort of stopped being on social media for a while. The lack of feeling perceived led me to just do my thing more, which was wonderful. I just stopped caring what people thought about me. So I was putting more effort into the gym, I was dressing however I wanted to, I grew my facial hair out, and I just sort of did my thing and experimented with my identity in a way that felt very unaltered by other people's opinions or perception. And that led to me developing a better sense of self, better self-knowledge. And that's a critical part of being in college, being young in general, is discovering more about yourself, more about who you are. And one thing I discovered during that block of time was that I wanted to dress better. So as I was experimenting with my style and trying new things, I found it really exciting. I'd always cared about fashion and cared about how I presented myself with my style, but I found it really exciting and really engaging for the first time and was getting really into the history of it, the ideas behind it, fabrics, vintage stuff, and learning a lot more about what it all meant to me. So I started posting again on social media, and I started posting like it was a diary more than like I was posting for other people. Every day I posted a fit pic, every week I would post new albums I listened to. I just was trying to keep myself accountable for doing the things I wanted to do, and I used social media like my private diary, but everyone could see it and I could talk to people about what I was doing, hear what other people were doing, get inspired by them. It felt really cool. And that is what ultimately led me to post my first outfit video on TikTok. I can put that up here for a second. The week before I made my first video, I'd been on a hiking trip with one of my best friends, and I'd recorded little clips throughout the whole trip. intending to edit them into a little vlog just for the two of us, not to post anywhere necessarily, but just to commemorate the experience. I'd had this itch for a while of like, I want to make more videos. I want to do more stuff through the medium of videography. It's super fun. I was doing a ton of film photography at the time, and I loved like the visual media because I've mostly been a writer most of my life. So I was like, okay, I have enough talent now, enough experience to make cool things in the visual sense. I want to do that with video. And so it came very naturally. I was exploring fashion, I was exploring video as a medium, and I was like, why don't I make an outfit video? I actually remember the exact moment I decided to make an outfit video. I was in the bathroom at my university and I looked in the mirror, and every piece of clothing I had on had significance to me. It had a story, it was from someone I loved, it was something I'd picked up on a cool adventure. It was just a moment where I was like, I have cool stuff, I have cool stories behind my stuff. It's not about the stuff really, it's about what it means to me, and I'd love to talk about that, I'd love to share that. I've been inspired by people like Casey Neistat to do storytelling, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I can do that well, but I'd love to start. Like, you have to start somewhere. So I was like, I will make an outfit video when I decide to with an outfit I like. And I just did it on a whim one morning before class. I have a rugby shirt that my friend Nico gave me. I wanted to wear it that day, and I was like, I'm just gonna talk about why I wanna wear this to the camera, and I'll just let it go into the world. And I posted it. And I remember vividly what was going on that day because I had a class on the medical campus. So for my school, the campus, like the normal campus, was like here, and then miles away is the medical campus. You take a bus to go back and forth. And I posted it in the morning at like 11 a.m. I finished the video pretty quickly. I didn't really have much production quality. But I did the video, put it up at 11, left it. I didn't really check my phone much throughout the day. And I had my notifications off at the time for most of my social media. By the time that I finished my day, so it was like 7 p.m., I was getting on the bus to come back to normal campus and walk to my apartment. I opened TikTok and I was just like inundated with notifications. The video had gone from tens of thousands of views to hundreds of thousands, and I was just like shocked, and it felt super cool because I was like, oh, people like something I did. I talked authentically and with passion about what I was wearing, and I felt good about it. It was super cool. And so I made a video that night. I'd gained like 1,000 followers, and I was like, oh, this is insane. Like, this is more people than I ever thought would follow me. I don't know what to do with my channel now. Hi, like this is cool. Hello to everyone that's new here. Thanks for hanging out. And I liked the feeling of sharing something authentically and having people engage with it and be impacted by it. Granted, there were hate comments, there were comments that made me a little bit uncomfortable, but the vast majority of people were saying lovely things, saying that they found me calming in some way, or that they were inspired to do something similar, they were inspired to dress differently, or they felt more confident because they started thinking about their clothes the way that I did, where it was like a story. And so I got up the next day and I made another video. And I did that same thing every day for the next year. In the span of that year, things changed drastically. I was making these videos because I was connecting with people, I was expressing something important to me, and it was just super fun. And then I started getting some brand sponsorship deals. These were very minor at first, and I just thought it was super cool that anyone was thinking of me and I could rep these cool brands I'd like worn before or used before and I knew. And it just felt very cool, and it gave me some extra pocket money while I was in college. As I moved toward graduation, the deals kept getting bigger. And it became a question of like, this is now serious, like it's more than just me having fun. I'm still having fun, I love doing it. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't a joyous, authentic thing, but there's also a business side to it now. And it became a priority for me. It already was in a personal sense, but in a professional sense, there was also that world to it, and I had to think about that for my next steps. At the time I was thinking of going to grad school. The more I learned about the program I was gonna do, the more I realized that only certain parts of it were for me, so I decided not to go. My education is something I'm still pursuing to this day. I'm still a student, so I've not slacked on that, but I decided to go a different direction with it and to put more energy into content, both because it's personally rewarding and because I was seeing business success. And so I had the ability, the luxury, the privilege to put more time in and be able to start supporting myself with this. I didn't think I could just do this, however, so I started looking for jobs, I was looking at research positions, I was looking at working at a climbing gym that I love locally, and by the time that a couple of offers came through, I had gotten to a point with this where I was like, I actually can just do this and spend my free time working towards my education, working towards my future goals. And I said, okay, I'm going all in, let's burn the ships, let's commit fully to this, and let's do it. And at this point, I'd signed on with a social media management company that were helping me handle contractual stuff, like legal stuff to make sure that I was protected. They were helping me handle my day-to-day, and it felt real, and it was real, and it's still real. And that made me even more committed to the process. Now at this point, I've been on influencer trips. I've traveled for this job, which is crazy cool. I get to make these videos every week for YouTube. I get to write every week now, which is something I've been wanting to do for years. I make my daily videos, of course. I have all these wonderful clothes that mean so many things to me. I've been able to tell stories that mean important things to me. It's just a dream come true. It's wonderful. And in addition to that, I have enough time to keep pursuing my other interests. Like I'm taking my classes that I take, working towards more careers I want to have in the future, businesses I want to own, just really wonderful things in my life that I'm so lucky to have this for. I think there are important takeaways for other content creators from my journey. I'll make a whole separate video about my advice for people wanting to get into content creation, for anyone doing it, but essentially, those would be: 1, being careful with legal stuff. It's very easy to get messed with, don't get messed with. Number 2, be very careful with how you present yourself on the internet. It's very easy to get caught up in the negativity that is native to the internet at this point, but I think it's far more valuable to be authentic. Of course, if something negative is happening, it's always good to talk about it, but to try to do so with hope and positivity and bringing that to other people, because there's so much negative stuff in the world. People need more joy and hope, and that's what I want to bring to people. I hope that other people bring that perspective as well. 3, trust the process and work hard. People think this is a very easy job, and they're right. Relatively speaking, it absolutely is. But if you approach it from a perspective of working hard, having all your stuff together, both on the business side with finances and on the content side with making sure you have a creative schedule, you're taking care of yourself so that you can bring that creative energy to your videos, that makes all the difference. That makes the difference between doing well in this field and sort of fading into obscurity, at least in my experience so far. I think there are also very valuable life lessons in general for anyone that you can take from the story. The first being, it's always beneficial to be open to whatever the universe throws at you. If I hadn't committed to the opportunity that opened up with TikTok when it did, I would not be anywhere close to where I am today. It was something that was kind of scary at first. It was something that definitely had an impact on me, and it took some getting used to. But it's ended up making my life infinitely wonderful, and I'm so grateful for where I am now. In tandem with the idea of being open to whatever the universe may throw at you, you have to trust the non-linear path. There have been so many times in my journey with being a content creator where I thought that something was gonna go wrong, I'd have to do something else, I'd have to do this, that, whatever it is. It's not been a linear path. It's not been like, do this, then do this, then do this, and you find success. It's been all over the place. I don't know if I can trace this in like editing, but it's like all over the place. I didn't think I'd be anywhere close to this, but I also didn't think I could be this happy in life. And it's wonderful to be where I am. And 3, this applies directly to content, but to anything else in life as well. Bring authenticity, bring as much positive energy as you can muster, and try to make a good impact on other people. The thing that keeps me coming back to making videos, the thing that keeps me coming back to everything I do in life, whether it's within this realm, within the realm of like computational biology that I'm entering into, the thing that I get so excited about is that it might help others in some way. It might make someone feel better on a bad day. It might give them some advice they could work with. It might do something as small as inspiring them to dress a different way. That might make them feel better on a day-to-day basis. But life, at the end of the day, is all about the people around you, the connections you make, and the love you share with them before we all inevitably expire. Everything else is superficial, ultimately. This is very deep for a video about how I became a content creator, but still, like, this is a guiding principle behind why I did it, how I've done it, and why I think I've had success in it, is I genuinely want to make a positive impact on people in some way. So, yeah, if you can do that, if you can find a way to do that in your life, you will almost always have joy in abundance, and I wish that for you. So, my journey started with a silly video that was janky because I couldn't edit videos on TikTok, and I've gotten to the point where I'm doing it full time, supporting myself on it right now, and it's opening up all kinds of doors for my future that I did not ever see being a possibility. That was a deep talk for a treat video. I think you guys are used to just, hey guys, here's the outfit today, but I don't know. I hope that's helpful. I hope that's impactful. But in any event, like and subscribe, please. It helps me a ton. Thank you for being here. It's been a joy to sit and talk with you. And thank you in general for being a part of this journey. None of this would be possible without you. So genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Have a great day. Have a great week. You know, all the usual. And I'll see you next time.